So, happy Parents' Day.
Happy Parents'
In
Day.
the United States of America, we celebrate the fourth Sunday of July as Parents' Day, National Parents' Day. It was first established in 1994 by President Bill Clinton. He signed it into law, recognizing and uplifting and supporting the role of parents in the rearing of children. Actually, it's fun. If you go look on Wikipedia and you look up National Parents' Day for the USA, each country has its own. It says right there, Unification Church were the main supporters of this event. Having this proclaimed. National Parents' Day. Here's from the actual law where it says, all private citizens, organizations, and federal, state, and local governmental and legislative entities are encouraged to recognize Parents' Day through proclamations, activities, and educational efforts in furtherance of recognizing, uplifting, and supporting the role of parents in bringing up their children. Great. Isn't it wonderful that we have something in America that acknowledges the role of parents? Yeah? Let's give a hand. Yes. Well, happy Parents' Day. So even at the worldwide level, the United Nations in 2012 established the UN Global Day of Parents. It's actually celebrated on June 1st, but here's from the website. It says, parents of every race, religion, culture, and nationality are all parts of the world, in all parts of the world, are the primary caregivers and teachers of their children, preparing them for a happy life, happy, fulfilling, and productive life. Parents are the anchors of the family and the foundation of our communities and societies. Father Moon often says, family is the school of love, right? Learning about love. So it's definitely, important and valuable that the world lifts up the importance and the significance of parenting and of families. Last year, Pope Francis actually issued a document called The Joy of Love, where he promotes and supports the importance and the significance of families. Here's from that excerpt from that reading. He writes, love from both a mother and a father is necessary for a child's integral and harmonious development. We're speaking not simply of the love of father and mother as individuals, but also of their mutual love, perceived as the source of one's life and the solid foundation of the family. Together, they teach the value of reciprocity, of respect for differences, and of being able to give and take. Of course, as unificationists in the Family Federation, the family is at the core of the way we see God designed the universe. It's the way God's designed for everything. Father Moon, when had the inauguration of the Universal Peace Federation, the interfaith and interdenominational, but also interdiscipline organization that's working with ambassadors from peace from all over the world. In that opening inauguration, he spoke clearly about the importance of families. And I'm just going to read this excerpt. Father Moon says, I invite you to enter into a transcendent state and prayerfully ask God, what is the center of the universe? The answer you will hear will undoubtedly be the parent-child relationship. Nothing is more important or more precious than the relationship between parent and child. This is because it defines the fundamental relationship between the Creator God and human beings. So, from the divine principle, from the Father Moon's teachings, we start with an understanding of what's our purpose in life. And there's three great purposes. We pull this from the Old Testament, from the book of Genesis. God's instruction for life: to be fruitful, to multiply, and have dominion over the birds of the air, the fish of the sea, all the things of creation. Father Moon, when he reads that, he translates that, and he interprets to be fruitful means to become a true loving person. is a person who knows and experiences God in their life. Fundamentally, it's an unselfish person, and living with God at the center of their life. Now, when we're talking about Parents' Day, this first purpose, to be fruitful, to become a true love person, also means to become a true love, unselfish partner for your spouse in the future and parent in the future. So this is the foundation there. The second great purpose is to multiply. That's having to do with family. Family with God at the center. Family where unselfishness is taught to all of the family members, both by the example, but also by training. Kids, we're born selfish, right? So in the family, we learn how do we share our toys, right? How do we get along? How do we work together? But not only within the family, in the family, we show the example of living for the larger community. And larger communities, living for the sake of the nation, and the nation for the world. This is the vision that God has of the kingdom of heaven. The second great purpose, a true loving family that lives with an unselfish motivation and purpose, always wanting to make a difference at a larger and larger level. And then the third great purpose, dominion, is that unselfish, loving stewardship of this amazing planet that we live in and all the things of creation, with God, our Heavenly Parent, at the center of all those activities. But for all these three great purposes, the family is where it starts. And parents are where families start. So, the foundation for the family, of course, number one is God. Right? We begin everything with God. But the family begins with a husband and wife. Right? That partnership of a husband and wife. That's the very starting point. And then there's a transformation that takes place. They move from becoming just husband and wife to mom and dad, right? Transformation. The universe changes, right? When we became parents, it's one thing to be a couple. You can do things together and, you have all kinds of activities. When you become mom and dad, everything changes, right? Especially for the babies, for the young ones. Life is completely turned upside down and all around, and praise God for it, right? Hallelujah. So family is the school of love. Again, it starts with the couple, husband and wife, centered on God, being the place where the children can learn about God, right? They should see God through their parents. They learn about love. They see the relationship between their parents. They learn about relating with each other. They see the example, and also they get to practice it with their brothers and sisters. On that foundation, the young people, kids, us, as children, learn and develop our relationship with God, come to know and experience God, and then we can go on. The cycle continues, to become an individual of true love, a family, and then dominion over the things in the creation. So for National Parents' Day, to think about this, I want to put this forward to you, a reflection. And I'm going to come back to this later, but I figured I would give you the homework ahead of time so you could be planning ahead. I want you to reflect, especially on this National Parents' Day. What have your parents done, to nurture, to educate you, experience you've had with them that you're really grateful for? Okay? So if you get bored with what I'm saying, you can daydream about that, okay? Because it's National Parents' Day. Please reflect, what am I grateful for, my parents? But I want to talk a little bit and just focus this idea of celebrating National Parents' Day with Hyo Jeong. Now, last time I spoke a lot about Hyo Jeong, and I think Hyo Jeong is a really important term. It means basically a heart of filial piety. But Hyo Jeong, Mother Moon is using this a lot to talk about the foundation as the key component for us to build the kingdom of heaven. Hyo Jeong is the fundamental component for us to develop and cultivate a culture of heart, a culture of love. So it takes a little bit of, let's look at it a little bit. So the Korean term, Hyo, basically represents filial piety, the children's respect, love towards parents. It is beyond just family, though. It also means loyalty, filial piety to the person who's in a leadership position, or elders or grandparents, and ultimately towards God, right? filial piety. The second part of this, Jeong, is a bit complicated for us Westerners to understand. It's not a typical Western idea or concept. It really, what it means is something around the realm of heart, but it's not just the individual heart feeling. It has to do with the emotional connection between two people, or even us and other things. It's this emotional heart connection, affection, the feeling of concern. Actually, it's a oneness. Now, in Western society in general, our culture promotes individualism and honestly selfishness. The best example I can think of is, say, you go out with a friend to dinner. You know, you go out to a restaurant, something, and your friend orders one thing, and you have a different one, and you're eating your meal, and you go, "Wow, this tastes so good. This is the best meal I've ever had. This is fantastic." And you ask your friend, "How's yours?" And the friend goes, "Yeah, so it's okay." So you go, "Oh man, next time you should get what I got. Boy, this is so good. I'm really enjoying this. This is so wonderful," right? That's kind of, I'm me. I mean, that person ordered what they ordered, so they got what they got, right? This is kind of our Western style, oftentimes. But with a heart of Jeong, with a heart of connection and love, then the feeling is, wait, if I'm having joy, I want to make sure that the person's with me is also experiencing that joy. So what's natural? Oh, taste some of mine, right? Oh, why wouldn't you share? Oh, come on, try. Oh, yours isn't so good. Oh, try mine. It's so great. It's kind of funny going on and on. Oh, this tastes so wonderful. It tastes so good. But I'm not going to share. It's for me, right? So Jeong, this is the heart or attitude of, I want to be one and share with the person I love, the object of my love and affection. So Hyo Jeong is this heart of filial piety. It's the love and connection between child and parent, but also between those who are in the object position and those who are in the subject or leading position. The heart of filial piety is kind of the shorthand way. But it has to do with cultivating this deep connection of heart with our parents, which is God's ideal, God's hope and God's longing, is that there's this deep connection and caring, and that we cultivate this experience of gratitude and feelings of love and respect and even support. So you think, oh, how does a child support the parent? But if you think about it, that's the desire of a loving child. The one that, oh, mom's cooking. Oh, the kid that runs in the kitchen. Oh, let me help. Actually, a lot of times that's more trouble than it's worth. But the joy that the child gets from participating. Oh, I helped mom make the dinner, right? I helped dad build the fort, or whatever. We want to support. Because we're built that way. That's the way God designed us. We want to participate, and we want to feel that we're contributing, that we're sharing, and especially with the objects that we love, the people that we love and care for. Children naturally follow their parents. Just, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you? Right? As children, we naturally want to follow our parents because there's a heart of, I'm connected. It's like we are one. I'm connected to you. And joyfully honoring parents. Children want to be able to respect and honor and just give praise to our parents. Ultimately, the bottom line comes down to is we live as children to bring joy to our parents, and that brings us the greatest fulfillment and joy in our relationship. If we see our parents experiencing joy, when our parents feel proud of us, I feel so good as a child. When we know we're doing things that bring our parents joy, then this is where we get lots of energy and lots of happiness. Well, this model starts in the family. It's where we learn and we practice and we develop these skills. But this is truly meant to be our relationship with God, our Heavenly Parent. That we have a deep connection with God as our Heavenly Parent. That we experience gratitude, a loving relationship, respect, and even that we're here supporting God, helping God, We are the hands and feet and the voice, that God can use to affect this world. God's counting on us. That we can joyfully follow God, our Heavenly Parent, honor God, and living to bring joy to God, our Heavenly Parent. This is that heart, that nature of Hyo Jeong that True Mother is constantly, over and over, in all the speeches and all these namings of these new organizations. It's all about this deep level of heart and commitment and caring that comes with the spirit of Hyo Jeong. So, how do we cultivate Hyo Jeong in our lives? In our lives. The beginning place, of course, is with our attitude, our thinking. We understand intellectually, this is the design of the universe. This is how we're going to find fulfillment, is through this kind of sharing, this kind of participation. But given the world and the challenge we're living in, first means we need to recognize and overcome our selfishness, our natural tendency to be selfish. As we grow as children in love and respect in our relationship with our parents, makes it a lot easier. It makes it easier to share if you feel supported and the love from our parents. That gives us strength and confidence. Oh, yeah, I can share because I don't feel like I'm lacking. I feel like I'm overflowing. Also, breaking those selfish habits. Over and over we say, live for the benefit of others. How am I doing something that's benefiting others? So, just changing our mindset and our thinking, so we're looking at, rather than, oh, this is so good for me. Anything that's really great for me and I really love, I want to share that, right? Now, honestly, as parents in a parental position, we also have the challenge that we cultivate our children's ability to trust those who are in authority. Honestly, their experience of how am I feel towards a leader or a boss or someone I'm working for or anyone who's in a leadership position is going to be determined a lot, shaped a lot by their experience from us as parents. Did they experience unconditional love, support, and encouragement? Well, I look at myself and I'm kind of like embarrassed, But thankfully, if nothing else, as parents, we point to God, right? I'm doing the best I can, and I absolutely love you, but really, God is your parent that you can count on the most, even more than me. I'm working, but God is the ultimate parent that we really want to point our children towards, so that they develop and cultivate their own experience and understanding of God. So the first attitude of a Hyo Jeong culture is this attitude of living for the benefit of others. Then, not only do we have to change our mindset, but also there's a feeling that comes with that, a heart, an emotion that's involved with that. And that, I think, it's the desire to love, the desire to give, to respect. And I find that a lot of times that's most easily motivated by the experience of gratitude. That's why I chose that as, your exercise. What are we grateful for? Because when we feel grateful, then love naturally follows. The desire to respond naturally comes from the feeling of gratitude when we're grateful for something. So I'm going to ask you to share, some experiences with your neighbors, with those with you. But if I think about it, when I was really young, the most often experience was when I'm sick. As a child, when you're sick, and your mom, your dad, or whoever comes there and takes care of you, earaches were the worst for me, man. It's like, pain, make it stop. And sometimes all a parent can do is just hold us, right? And how much gratitude can we feel for just the times when we were sick or felt bad, when the times when our parents tried to comfort us. Also, there's all kinds of material things, like we totally take for granted, especially when we're younger. What? Food on the table? Of course. Of course my parents are feeding me. What? That's just the nature of the universe, right? Isn't it automatic? Then we grow a little bit older, we realize, actually, there's a lot of work involved in that. Even though you make money, there's preparation and like that, but as young kids, it's just like, oh, wonderful. I have a roof over me, I have clothes, and all these things that we take for granted when we're young. But as we get older, we can appreciate and be grateful for all that our parents have done for us. When I think back growing up, one thing I'm grateful for is I remember my parents took us camping. I was a lot motivated by my dad, but we went out camping a lot, and got out into nature. And I think it really nurtured in me the feeling of the beauty of nature and the love for things in creation. So activities like that, and as we grow older, I can feel really grateful when I think about the space that my parents gave me to grow. Of course, a little bit different time than it is now, but I definitely was encouraged to explore things and given a certain amount of freedom, as long as I didn't go too far outside, right? Break too many rules. And that there was a trust there, a trust that I experienced from my parents, even when, they didn't feel so comfortable. I'm going to a concert in San Francisco. I'm hitchhiking. I'll see you in a couple of days. It's like, yeah, okay, be careful. Of course, that was back then. I don't know if I'd be thrilled if my daughter was hitchhiking to San Francisco for a concert, But anyway, but that kind of trust, that we extend, that we trust our children, and give them that opportunity. Also, there's a lot of pushing. There's a certain amount of pushing that happened. And I'm really grateful. My parents pushed me to go to college. After high school, hey, I was a hippie. I was going to, get my backpack and head off into the mountains. I'm good. Let me live a hippie lifestyle. I wasn't interested in college. More school? That doesn't sound like any fun. But, my parents basically pushed me, made me, okay, I'll fill out the applications, whatever, and I got accepted and I went. And I'm so grateful. My experience at college was phenomenal for me. It was life-changing. And if just on my own thinking, oh, no, I'm just going to do my own thing, this sounds like fun. I never would have had the experience that I was able to have. And also there was a certain push towards being responsible and self-sufficiency. When my dad made me get a job in the summer. What? I have to work. Oh, summer's that's the time when we spend time swimming in the canals and having all kinds of fun with my friends. I don't want to work. But that pushing me to work and making sure I was born, and even when I was in college, the pushing me to be self-sufficient and responsible. I'm so grateful for that. Because when push came to shove, I could be responsible and I could trust myself. So even when I joined our movement, it was kind of like a controversial thing to do back then. And my parents, they weren't thrilled. They were looking forward to me, being a businessman and, being a rich, successful businessman or whatever. And here I am becoming a missionary and going off and traveling around. What? But they supported that, Maybe, they bit their fingernails a lot, and maybe they kept their complaints to themselves. But I definitely felt, they'd rather I did something else, but they're going to trust me, and they supported me, in my decisions. So there's lots of things like that. And I encourage you to reflect on the things that we receive from our parents that we really can be genuinely grateful for. Now, at the same time, I have a list much longer of things that I'm not happy that my parents did. Man, when I was in second grade, I really wanted this Gorgo monster. It was a robot, about this tall, all green, really cool. And I wanted it so much for Christmas, and I didn't get it, right? Man, I have so much to complain about. I could give you a long list of things. Actually, that's not true, because I did get that for Christmas. But see, I've blocked out all those things I'm not grateful for, because I'm not even going to think about them. Because if I think about the things that I'm upset, because, our parents, they did the best they could, and they made a lot of mistakes. As a parent, I know I've made a lot of mistakes. But if I focus on what's wrong, on my complaint, what's that going to do for me? It's going to make me unhappy. It's going to take away my joy. And it's going to take away my energy and my power. Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to focus on the things that are taking away my energy and my life? And yet when I focus on the things that I'm grateful for, and maybe you don't have to really, well, you really have to narrow my view. Well, now that time, all the other time was terrible, but I can remember this. That was really special. And if I can focus on that, you know what? I get so much power and joy from that. Why would I waste my time thinking about the complaints and what was wrong? That's the principle. What we have give and take with, we're going to multiply. If we focus that attention on what we're grateful for, then the emotion, the heart, the love for our parents grows. And if we apply that to God too, there's so much for us to be grateful for, when we think about our Heavenly Parent in our lives. Then the third point, our attitude change. I want to live for the sake of others. Our heart and our desire and motivation to do that. But we also have to actually do it. We have to put into action with our lives. And that means, fundamentally, we need to practice sacrificing. Oh, sacrificing? What? Living for the benefit of others is not just, I'm going to think about others. It's I'm actually going to do things for others. So, I'm sharing that meal, like the example I said before. I'm having this fantastic food. It tastes so great. My friend's not, have this so meal, whatever. If I give them some of my food, I'm sacrificing some joy. Man, if I eat the whole thing, I'm going to get all this joy, right? But if I sacrifice and give some of them, I'm not going to get as much joy, right? Actually, the truth is I'm going to get a lot more joy because I've shared the experience. The amazing thing is that we're designed that way. Regardless of our culture that promotes, I'm me and you're you, and, we're separate individual people, and the tendency towards being selfish and individualistic, the truth is we get the greatest joy in our life when we share things. I get a certain amount of joy from eating that whole meal and enjoying it and tasting it. But you know what? The joy that I get from sharing that would be multiplied, exponentially more joy than if I had just eaten it by myself. And you think about it, how many times do you hear a song, some amazing music, really hits you, it's so powerful. Or you saw a movie that was like, oh man, that was life-changing. Or read a book, or any kind of experience. You went to a restaurant, or you did some activity, and you really enjoyed it, really special to you. Don't you want to share that with someone? Doesn't it multiply the pleasure when you're actually able to share that with another person? This is the way God designed us. The truth is that our kind of selfish culture of where, just me, and, look, if I give up some of my stuff, I'm going to not have as much pleasure. It's crazy and it's foolish. Because by living for the sake of others, by making a difference in the people that we love, the people in the world around us, we're multiplying the joy that we can experience in our lives. So the Hyo Jeong culture is this kind of heart of filial piety, of love, that's actions and service. And it involves us giving up things, of sacrificing, of sometimes going where it's uncomfortable, going where I don't want to go. Oh, do I have to share? Especially the young people, the kids. It's a great adventure you're going to have soon. Sharing. Oh, do I have to share? I don't want to share. But the joy that comes when you learn how to share. It's like, oh man, it's much more fun. It's much more fun when we share. So when we think about this from God, our Heavenly Parent's perspective, God needs us to have the attitude, the heart, the feeling of caring, and to put into action God's need for this world. God is desperate to bring all of God's children home. God desperately needs us to be the people who reach out, who share God's love with the people around us, the people in our environment. There's all kinds of different ways that we can do that. But it's important that we live for the benefit of others. Not just material things. Material things are nice, and we'll do that. It's fun sharing a meal, sharing music. But most important thing that we have to share is the experience and the love of God, of knowing our true parents, of having the chance to participate in transforming human history. This is the Hyo Jeong heart. It's not, I have to do it because God commands it. I have to do it because it's what I'm supposed to do or I'll go to hell. I have to do it or I'll be punished or I won't be happy. No, I want to do it because that's where my heart is. This is the Hyo Jeong heart that we want to cultivate to create a world of genuine peace, of genuine fulfillment, of genuine happiness and love. This is the hope that God has for the world that He wants us to live in. It starts with us. So, National Parents' Day, let's celebrate our parents. But especially also remember our true parents and God, our Heavenly Parent. Let me close with this from Father Moon. He says, people who go the way of filial piety, Hyo Jeong, attending their grandparents and parents in the family, and apply these lessons to the world, will find that they can relate to everyone, anywhere. Please join me in prayer. Father, Mother God, Honorable Manan, our loving Heavenly Parent, thank you so much for the chance we have to participate in your providence of restoration and healing at this time. Today we're celebrating with people around the country of America the National Parents' Day. And how much joy you have when you see sons and daughters honoring, respecting, and praising their parents. How much joy you experience when you see your ideal being made real in our lives. Heavenly Parent, we're grateful for the chance we have and the understanding we have of your providence, the understanding of your love and your heart. And at the same time, Heavenly Parent, we repent. Because we look at the world around us and we know that it's so far from the ideal that you long for. The world where no one has any doubt about your absolute love for them. That no one has any question that they are loved completely and absolutely. Heavenly Parent, please guide us. Please work in our hearts and our minds, and especially give us strength so that our actions express your love and express your healing in this world. The opportunities that we have in the workplace, at school, in our neighborhoods, online, and any opportunity that we have to communicate and relate with people in your world. And please help us represent you and bring people closer to the experience of you and your perfect parental love. Heavenly Parent, we thank you, and as your sons and daughters, we rededicate and redetermine ourselves with gratitude. And I report this, and we report this together as blessed central families. Adieu. Right, everybody? So now it's time to turn to your neighbor. You have your homework assignment, right? Please share with each other what your parents have done in your life that you're grateful for, some experience. And for bonus points, please share what you're going to do in the next week, even today, to show Hyo Jeong to your parents for this National Parents' Day. Thank you. God bless.